What is going on, guys? USAT here. In this video I am going to show you hand-picked YouTube video ideas to make you money without even showing your face by manifestation and meditation by yourself at the comfort of your home. I have to make a disclaimer that results are different for everybody. If you have not tried this method before, just stay relaxed at home at a quiet corner and follow the video tips. It can clear your minds and make you more focus on your subjects. But you are going to make sure that you watch the entire video because the last idea I show you is the best part. I am going to show you the real example channels that are currently making money with each video idea. And I will be showing you additional ways to make money with these channels that most people don't even talk about. Plus, you don't need a bunch of subscribers to do so. And if you stay until the end of this video, I will show you a bonus that can make you even more money. So you will be exited. Make sure to smash that like button and let's get into the video.
Good morning. This is day 10. And the statement of principle is, I keep my mind and thoughts off this world, and that's in quotes, and I place my entire focus on God within as the only cause of my prosperity. I acknowledge the inner presence as the only activity in my financial affairs, as the substance of all things visible. I place my faith in the principle of abundance in action within me. Okay, let's take that sentiment into meditation and take that full cleansing deep breath in. And relax and feel yourself just beginning to relax and go within. And with every breath, remember that you're breathing in that new aliveness, the newness of life. And with every exhale, you're releasing the old and just letting go and going deeper and deeper within your own awareness. The statement again is, I keep my mind and thoughts off this world, and I place my entire focus on God within as the only cause of my prosperity. I acknowledge the inner presence as the only activity in my financial affairs, as the substance of all things visible. I place my faith in the principle of abundance in action within me. So let's look at that first sentence and go within it. I keep my mind and thoughts off, quotes, this world, and I place my entire focus on God within as the only cause of my prosperity. So what is this saying? Throughout today, take your mind and thoughts off the external experience concerning your external reality, concerning abundance, and shift your focus from that external point of reference for your abundance to the internal, I place my entire focus on God within as the only cause of my prosperity. For the previous 9 days, we have been hearing, I place my entire focus within the divine activity is my abundance. The awareness of the divine consciousness within me is my abundance. And this is continuing that. I place my entire focus on God within me as the only cause of my prosperity. So become aware of the energy of that God within. And that's your thoughts, your energies, your feelings. Become aware of that. And just remember that what's inside, your experience of your inner reality is the only cause of your prosperity. We receive it and give it in the external world. But the only cause of that flow of lavish abundance, the only cause is focusing on God within, increasing that awareness. And maintaining that focus on that inner God self that is the only cause of prosperity. The next sentence, I acknowledge the inner presence as the only activity in my financial affairs. Again, we place our awareness and our acknowledgement on that inner presence. So the more and more we evolve, the more and more we identify as that God self on this planet, the more we recognize that that activity of that God presence within us is our source of prosperity, the more we take pressure off ourselves of what we must do, should do in the external world. We just focus on this to increase our prosperity, because this is like a portal from the unseen from which all the prosperity comes into life. I acknowledge the inner presence as the only activity in my financial affairs, as the substance of all things visible. That's quite a phrase. As the substance of all things visible. So we're acknowledging our inner presence as the only activity in financial affairs, and that inner presence, that simple awareness of the inner presence, actually is the substance for all things to become visible. So just like life comes from nothingness into form. Something you want in life that hasn't been there is in the nothingness, waiting for you to become aware of it as the inner activities of that presence, and then it'll start coming into form. So we become more and more aware of that inner presence, seeing that connection between the unseen within us becoming form in our lives. And it says that inner presence is the substance of all things visible. So we're talking about abundance of many forms, and that inner presence is the substance of all things visible in your life right now. So you can imagine that creative process coming from within, showing up in your home, that creative process coming from within, showing up in your new career. That inner substance, that inner presence comes into form as more investments, more income. That inner substance comes into form in all ways in life. Take a moment and just feel and imagine that connection. And with that connection made more so, meaning with increased awareness that everything in your life comes from this inner presence that is actually the substance of all those things in life. The more we increase that awareness, the more prosperous we become. That is the only activity in financial affairs. And the last sentence says, I place my faith in the principle of abundance in action within me. So it says now we've increased our awareness. So it's time to place our faith in this principle of abundance that is always in action within me. So having this faith, having made this connection, you can go about your life having faith that as you're taking action, that principle of abundance within you is always generating more abundance. More abundance of opportunities, more abundance of new thoughts, more abundance of resources to help. So once again, we can shed that egoic compulsion to control the external world to manipulate what we have. Those are the old days. That's limited thinking. Here we work with faith, knowing that there is an alive principle of abundance that is always in action within me, that is always seeking my highest good, that is always bringing me the opportunities that match my evolution in consciousness. Therefore, you can go about your day enjoying activities. You can go about going after that project, knowing that you've got the source of existence is the principle of abundance in action that's working for you. That takes the external pressure off of having to do things the right way, because we know this principle is always working. So we shift into gratitude that this principle of abundance in action within me is always working on our behalf. That's something to be grateful for. And being grateful for that consciousness that you already have of the inner presence being the only activity in your financial affairs that's working in some areas of your life. Those areas that are abundant, that consciousness that exists. Be grateful for your part in it, which is being aware. And be grateful that life is designed this way, that we can go about our business having the faith of God, knowing that the principle of abundance in action is always working on our behalf. And it is the substance of all things that become visible in our life. As I complete this call, sit with that. If you have time, sit in that presence and continue to make that connection. And be grateful for the way this life is created. And have a beautiful, abundant day.
But now if you are not really a fan of any of these methods and you want to check out my #1 recommendation to make money online, you can click the first link in the description below and get started today. And that's all I got for now, and see you in next video.